guys, welcome back to my channel. Today it's kind of a weird little story time, and it's kind of like a catch up with me since I moved back to Texas because I haven't posted in a while. So sorry for not posting. It's just life has been kind of crazy, and it's just I haven't had anything that I really wanted to do. And this story time, I feel like it's like a good opportunity to get it off my chest, and I feel like it's a good opportunity to let you know what's been going on in my life since I have had not gotten with y'all in a while. So let's get right into the video. Since my last video, y'all saw that I had moved back to Texas and I had been back in with my mother. Well, things have been kind of different. So I now live with my grandma, and this is her house right now, and I have two little dogs that we live with. I have Bentley, who's a Chihuahua Yorkie, and my little baby, and then I have Hey Hey, who's a Maltese Yorkie mix, and we named her after the chicken in Moana, you know, Hey Hey, the little dumb chicken. But she's adorable. She's a little like the chicken, but I love her to death. There's nothing been really exciting in my life. I have usually been working. I'm usually at work or at home or at my boyfriend's house. I'm dating this guy named Gerald, and he's amazing. Sorry for saying a lot. It's just I'm trying to come up with what I want to say, and it's just not really working out in my brain. So I work in a store called HEB, and it's a Texas-owned grocery store, and I'm a cashier, and I just basically sit up front. Sorry, I kicked my camera over. My bad. But I have had nothing exciting going on. I have a couple of exciting things coming up. I have a concert in October that I'm really looking forward to. Shawn Mendes, Tate McRae. I saw Tate McRae a couple months ago, and I'm really excited. But other than that, that's about it. So I guess I can go ahead and get into the story. So December 2021, me and this guy have been hanging out. We met on Tinder. I know, we met on Tinder. We have been hanging out a little bit, and we were hanging out at his place one day. And this was before we started dating. We were hanging out at his place, and this lady came up, banging on the door. You know, like banging on the door, creating a ruckus. It was like 2:30 in the morning. 2:30 in the morning. It was really early. Or late if you didn't want to go to bed. And she was like knocking, banging on the door, saying she was gonna slap my tire because I was getting with her, whatever they were, and he was a cheating bastard and things like that. And I was like, lady, I don't even know who you are. And he was like, I don't know this lady, I swear she's just some druggie, she's always around here, because he did not live in the best place in Belton or Temple area, Texas. And he was like, I don't know this lady. And so eventually we got out of there. And we were on the highway, on the way to my house. And my tire goes out. Big pop, my tire goes out. This lady had slashed my tire. This crazy lady had slashed my tire. And so we got the tire fixed, and he was like adamant on saying like, oh no, I don't know this lady. I don't know who she is, and blah, 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 blah. Should have been a red flag. I know it should have been a red flag, but I don't pay attention to the red flags, obviously. And so we started dating December 20th, 2021, right before Christmas, and things started going downhill from there. He was crazy, absolutely crazy, and I didn't know much about him. And I didn't listen to my family whenever they said I didn't know much about him. Well, after around a month of dating, he moved into my house, my grandma's house, and it was like, I didn't invite him to live here. I did not want him to live here. I thought that was way too soon for somebody to be living with each other. But my cousin said, oh, if you have no place to live, you're more than welcome to stay here. And I'm like, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was allowed to stay here. And so he moved in. And things really started to go bad. So I had just gotten a car, and I had gotten it in November. I was really excited because I'm 19, and this was the first car I had ever purchased by myself. Well, he wouldn't let me drive it. He wouldn't let me drive it. He wouldn't let me take it to work. He wouldn't let me come home in it. He had a car. And I was like, that's like my car. That's not okay. Well, to him, that didn't matter. It was all his things. we're dating, so I need to share my stuff with him because that's how it works in the dating world. That's not how it works in the dating world. And so he would never let me touch my keys. He would never let me touch my car wheel, basically. It was him driving. And so I would always say, you're never home and you're taking my car, that's not okay. You go and you come back and it has no gas, and then you make me pay for gas, because I always had to pay for things. He was like, oh, I'm just going to work, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, work does not take you that long. It should not take you 3 days to get back from work. It should not be out of gas if you've been staying at work this entire time. It should not be out of gas. Sorry, I'm sick a little. Sorry, my bad. But it should not take this guy forever to come back with my car. It should not. It really shouldn't. And so I would tell him, no, you're not allowed to take my car. And that would be a sign as, oh my God, I'm allowed to take her car. I'm allowed to take it. No means no. In every sense, whether it is sex or it is car keys or you touching my phone, no means no. No matter what, no means no, and that's what people do not get. No means no. And so he would never let me take my car. Never let me take it. And sometimes I found out he was taking my credit card. He was taking my card and he was going to ATMs and taking out money and buying beer with it. That's not okay. I do not think that should be okay. That is horrible. And so I had found out because day after my paycheck had come out, day after, it was like a $400 paycheck, I had 62 cents in my bank account. How does that even happen? How does that happen? It makes no sense on how that would happen. But, you know, that's what I had. And my grandma was sleeping in the living room at the time because we were getting her room fixed. And she was like, I woke up at like 3 in the morning and he had come in. He had taken your card out of your purse and just left. And I'm like, what? Like, I was blaming my cousin for taking my card because I thought because she seems, you meet her and she's like that person who would. And I had caught her taking money out of my purse before. And so I thought it was her taking money from my card. No, it was him taking money. And it was getting to the point where I was like having really bad mental health problems about it. And I had told him no on multiple occasions that he was not allowed to take my card. But he would guilt trip me and then take it anyways. And, oh my God, I gotta sneeze. Sorry, I had to sneeze. But he was taking my car, and so I was having really bad mental health about it. And my bosses at work could see it was affecting how I was working at work. And they were like, Allison, this is so not okay. You should not let somebody take your car. They were like, Allison, we gotta help you with this. So I was at work one day, and they had called me into the office, and I thought, oh my God, I'm in trouble. What if I'm getting fired? I can't afford to lose this job. I said, I'm making great money. I can't. And so they had called me into the office and they were like, Allison, we need to talk about what you're gonna do. And my boss's granddad or dad, one of them, was a police officer for the local police. And she called him and he said, if you want to file a stolen car report, you have to call the police and we will take care of it. And so I called the local police department and I had an officer come down to my work and talk to me about it. And so they came down and they were like, we can't file a formal police report because you did let him borrow it at one point. And I was like, even though I said no, and they're like, yes, you let him borrow it, you let him take it. So technically we can't file it as a stolen car, but we can go look for him and we can get your car back. And I was like, okay, that works, that's perfect. And so I had given them his number and they had called him several times in front of me and he didn't answer. And apparently when they left, they had called him a couple other times and he didn't answer. He texted me, he said, we need to talk. And I'm like, I think I know what this is about, but okay, talk. And he's like, no, I think when I get home, I'm just gonna go ahead and move everything out. I'm like, go ahead, I have no problem with that. You're living with me, rent free, might add. You don't pay for gas, you don't pay my car note, you still owe my money, so I can't pay my car note. My grandma had to pay. So I was like, go ahead and move out, you're good, go ahead, I don't care. A couple days later, he's still not back. And I'm like, I thought you said you were moving out. You need to come back with my car. And he was like, is it okay if I bring someone to take all my stuff? And if you drive us back? I said, I'm not driving you back. I don't know what you got that made you think I was gonna drive back. I'm not driving you back. I'm not sitting in a car, because he lives in Austin. I live an hour out of Austin. I was like, I'm not sitting in a car for an hour driving you back. Well, there was this girl who had messaged me on Instagram, and she was like, hey, bitch. And I was like, do I even know you? And she had tried to FaceTime me. But I didn't get it, obviously, because with Instagram, it's like, if they don't follow you and you don't follow them, they won't come through as messages. And so obviously I didn't answer, I didn't get it. Well, he had brought this girl to my house, and I had Gerald with me, my boyfriend, who wasn't my boyfriend at the time. I had him with me, and I got my car keys and I left. I took everything out of the car that was theirs, that I knew that was in the car, like their open alcohol that was in the front seat, and their sushi they had thrown in my car, and their clothes and their bag that I had thrown it all in the grass. I was like, this is not my stuff, this is not my crap, you can take care of it. And I was going to leave, and Gerald had already pulled out of the driveway, and she had jumped behind my car. She had jumped behind my car. And they kept harassing me, like, oh, well, you said this, you said this, you said this. I was like, I never said that. I never said I would drive you back. I never once said I would drive you back. And she was like, you're just a crazy bitch. You don't know what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, lady, I'm not trying to fight with you. I don't know you. I don't care. I'm not trying to fight with you. This is between me and him. And she was like, did you know I'm his baby mama? And I'm like, girl, I don't care. This isn't between me and you. I said, even if you are pregnant, I'm not going to fight a pregnant woman, and I'm not going to fight you regardless, because it's not between me and you. It is between me and him. And it started going crazy and crazy and crazier. And so I had called the police, and I was like, there was these two people harassing me, and I need them off my property. And so they came, and they had gotten statements from everybody, and they had taken all their stuff out of my car. And I was like, yeah. She was like, they came out here, and they just wouldn't leave me alone. And he went to go talk to them. This lady had said I tried to run her over with my car because she jumped behind my car. And I was like, I did not, but they had open alcohol in my car, and I'm pretty sure that's illegal. And she was like, oh, I can't drink alcohol. I'm pregnant. And I'm like, then someone was drinking alcohol in my car, and so you just threw your boyfriend, fiance, whatever the crap he is, under the bus because someone was drinking that alcohol. It was open. I picked it up, and it spilled. It was open. And she was like, oh, I know, I'm 9 weeks pregnant, I'm his fiance, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, my skin looks blotchy. I just realized that my camera isn't really... Sorry, my bad. But, yeah, she was talking about that, and I was just like, look, I don't care. And so my grandma agreed that she would drive them back. She would drive them, and she would take them back to Austin and leave them in Austin. What they did in Austin was whatever they did in Austin. That wasn't our concern. Well, now they're not allowed to come near me, and they're not allowed to contact me unless there is an officer present, or there is someone adult-wise present. And so a couple weeks go by, and this lady is still harassing me. I hope they do not find this video, but this lady is still harassing me, and I'm just like, lady, I don't really know you, and it was making my mental health bad. I was having anxiety attacks. I was having panic attacks. It was horrible. And she was just like posting videos on TikTok, on Instagram, tagging my friends, tagging my boyfriend, and just being like, oh, I'm so glad this went TikTok famous, and I'm so glad that I'm getting all these likes. And I'm like, you're just harassing me. And she was like, well, you knew we were pregnant. I was pregnant, and I was his fiance. And I'm like, no, because every time I mention him even having another girlfriend or even having another fiance, he was like, oh no, that's not true. You need to drop it. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, she was like, well, I have text message proof. I said, in the text messages, it literally says that he is denying that he even knew you. He's denying that he ever had another girlfriend or fiance. He's denying it. So I don't know what you want me to do about it. And my grandma had contacted her because, like I said, we are not allowed to contact each other. My grandma had contacted her and was like, you need to leave her alone. Seriously, it's not okay. you're just harassing her. And she was telling my grandma, oh my god, she knew this entire time about me. And I was like, why would I know about you? Why would I stay with a guy knowing I'm the side hoe? Why would I do that to myself? So eventually she finally stopped. And so thankfully I have not got, well, I got one call from him when I was at work, so obviously I didn't answer it. But they have not tried to contact me since. But there is a little problem. Their cat is still here. This happened like half a year ago, and their cat is still here. Still here. They won't pick it up. That's the only problem we have, is that they won't pick up their dang cat. And this cat is so annoying. I don't mean to be mean to the cat, but if y'all had to deal with this cat, I don't like it. And I don't know if it's because of the way the cat is, or if it's because it's my cousin or my ex-boyfriend's cat. But other than that, guess that's the story of how my ex-boyfriend stole my car. It's a little doozy. But it's alright. It's whatever. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry I haven't been making videos much, but I promise I will try to change that. And I hope you come back and visit me. And all my socials are in the description below and will be after this. So, alright, see y'all guys next time. Bye! And will be after this. So, alright, see y'all guys next time. Bye!